Today, we're going to be checking out 13 by Blur. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another album review / reaction here on the channel. My name is Patrick, and this is my cousin Cody, no relation. And if this is your first time here on the channel, welcome. If you're familiar with the channel, welcome back. We have something very exciting we're going to be doing today. This is a video we've actually scheduled several times to get recorded, but we've had to cancel once, I think, and then we decided to do something else, or I wanted to do something else because I thought it was important for us to do whatever it was. But we're finally here, continuing our journey going through Blur's discography. So, Cody, this will be the first time that you have heard 13. And I would guess probably the first time you've heard any of these songs. I don't think that you will know any of the songs from this album.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of the titles. Yeah,
and we'll get into that in a little bit, but I would just, before we get too far out of the intro of the video, I just want to welcome everybody and say thank you for watching. If you're unfamiliar with how we do videos here on the channel, we're going to talk a little bit about Blur and this album up front. Then we're going to listen to the entire album from front to back. We'll probably be pausing between each song, and we will then talk, but we will be talking over the music as well, so be aware of that. We'll talk over the music. We will then pause and talk about the songs a little bit between each. And here on the channel, we tend to focus on production things, and we focus on everything other than the lyrics, which sometimes can annoy people.
I focus on the lyrics,
but we do. But Cody usually is that he brings up the lyrics, and we'll see. My general thoughts on that is if a lyric grabs us, or if something stands out to us, it's worth talking about. Otherwise, though, we don't generally focus on the lyrics or the messages of the songs.
I found in general, I'm not very good at interpreting lyrics. And I don't know if I'm just dumb or what, but a lot of times I'll pull up, Rap Genius or whatever, Genius, and follow along and be like, oh, that means that. And it's like the most obvious thing in the world to everybody else. But to me, I'm just like, oh, they're just like song lyrics.
See, to me, I think that's kind of the beauty of song lyrics, though. I feel like with lyrics, it's more so than almost any other type of written thing, like poetry or books, obviously, or whatever. I feel like it's more open to interpretation than really any other art form, maybe.
Oh, for sure. I mean, how many Beatles songs have completely different interpretations out there? That's like, this song's all about drugs. No, it's actually about a drawing that someone made as a child or something.
Yeah, Mother Mary is not actually, in fact, referring to Mother Mary. It's referring to Paul's mother, Mary.
Right.
Or and Mary Jane. It could be a million things.
Exactly. And so many artists don't like to just explain things,
Right, because it allows the listener to be able to, interpret it and stuff. And but I do, in general, I do enjoy. I mean, we've talked in all these Blur videos and about how, and the Gorillaz video that we did, about how Damon is just one of my musical idols, and I really respect him so much for so many different reasons. But I can also say that if I had to tell you what my favorite Blur lyric is, I don't even think that I would it would be something funny, from Park Life or something that's a goofy thing. And that's not something that, because Blur, the earlier part of their career, they were really talking about life in England, which is very different than life in rural, life in London specifically, very different than life in rural Nebraska, in the middle of the US. And so I don't even, I can't even say that I can't even think off the top of my head of any Blur lyrics that I really enjoy at all. Now, I do think that on this album, we are going to listen to 3 of my all-time favorite Blur songs, and one of them is, I do think, possibly one of the most well-written, most mature songs they've ever had, and I would personally put it in maybe my top 50 favorite songs of all time. Regardless of anything, I think we're going to listen to a song like that, and I do think that there are some great lines in it. It's a very simple song, but I really like that song. But we'll get to that in a second. So anyway, I just want to let everybody know, after we're done having our very deep conversation and listening to all the tracks, we will do our sort of overall thoughts at the end of the video. So if you just want to skip there and ignore all the bull crap we've been talking about this whole time, feel free to do that. But we have everything, timestamps will be in the description, so you should be able to look at the timeline of the video and just look in the description if you want. We also have a Ko-fi account if you want to donate to us. We're working on a Patreon account if that's interesting to you at all. If not, that's totally fine. We also have a Discord that we are trying to grow, and we have so many good conversations there and so many great people there who are. We started mostly as sort of more of a metal channel, so we have a lot of metal people there, but we are also getting a lot of people there from our 21 Pilots videos, some from these Damon videos. I'll just call them Damon Albarn videos because we got Blur, we got we got all these things, and so I'm really been enjoying that kind of stuff.
Nobody from the Yes videos is coming.
No. Well, no one that listens to Yes knows how to use Discord, so we don't have to worry about that. But we do, which, by the way, we are going to totally react to the new Yes album when that comes out. And people are going to hate it so much, it's going to be great. That makes me smile and laugh. I'm looking forward to that immensely.
Yeah.
But so anyway, sorry, we've been rambling a bunch. Let's get to talking about this album. So I don't suppose you went back and listened to what's the album called?
Modern Life, is that the one we did?
No. It's just their self-titled one. That's why I can never think of it.
Oh,
their self-titled one, the one with Song 2 and
no, I have not.
Song 2 and B.L.U.R.E.M.I was the first track that you enjoyed way more than I thought you would, because that's actually one of my least favorite Blur songs, and you were like, oh no, I enjoyed that one.
It was good. Yeah, the whole album was good.
But you haven't listened to that one as much anymore, or as much.
I once we're probably winding down with the albums we're going to listen to, I'll probably go through and listen to all of them again.
Yeah.
And kind of maybe pick out my favorite ones and add some stuff to my Spotify. But I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to when we are kind of done with this, where you and I can get together sometime when we're just visiting or whatever, and we can watch some Blur live stuff, because I have all their DVDs and everything, and I just got their live Blu-ray that was released last year where they performed at Wembley, and I haven't watched that yet actually, but I'm very excited for that. So I want to do that with you at some point as well, but if for those of you who are joining us and you haven't watched all of our other Blur content, just know that I personally love Blur. They're a band that was very influential to me, even though I didn't discover them until a little bit later. Gorillaz, for me specifically, very influential as I was sort of growing up. The first album came out when I was, I believe, a freshman in high school in 2001. And then because of my love of Gorillaz, I went back and discovered Blur and fell in love with them. And I really love the early part of their career, and I have not enjoyed the later part of their career as much. This album, Cody, 13, which if you've looked at it or seen it or whatever, this album cover is actually one of my least favorite album covers of all time. I really, really dislike this cover.
Yeah.
Now,
it's
no
not
offense.
Pleasant.
No offense to Graham Coxon, the guitar player. This is a painting that he did in 1996. Okay. And the 13 is not there, and neither is the weird flash on the top of the head that they added there.
That's
the
a
fake
really
lens
cliche
flash.
Lens flare there.
Yeah. And so, but it's an oil painting that he did, and I don't think it's him, and I don't think it's anyone in the band or anything that we know of or anything. I forget what it was called, but
I don't mind it as a painting. If I saw that on a wall,
right.
As an album cover, it's not really doing it for me.
Right. And I really dislike the artwork for this whole album. So they have this, and then when you open all of Blur's previous albums, they would have their or at least their more Britpop albums, they would have the tabs in there, so you could see what key they're in and all this stuff, and the lyrics were in there. But in this one, you open it up, and it's just this.
Oh.
This type of like
Aztec or what I don't know what that is.
Well, it's like a brain scan.
Okay.
It's like a brain scan, but it's not a brain scan, but it's some sort of a scan of something, and then they show this. These are the different colors.
Yeah.
You look, so there's the whites, there's the blacks, there's the whatever. But whatever this is, it's boring as hell. And then on the back, it's just this. And that's all it is. It's just
and it's not even.
It's really
mirrored and And what's with the JPEG artifacts on there?
It's awful, right? It's like they took a picture of this painting and then they were like, for the artwork, we'll just zoom in on it. But they took a low resolution. Yeah, they took a low resolution picture of it.
That's you could see the squares. I thought I was looking at the thing below us here, And I thought that was just like, you got a bad quality image.
No.
No.
No. That's kind of one of the reasons I put that below us. I was like, people need to know. So, and then the other thing, I remember reading a review about this album when, not when it came out, because I wouldn't have been following Blur at the time, obviously, but when I got into Blur, I was looking them up. And one of the reviews that I remember reading about this album specifically, and it might have been in my Blur 21 box set, which I have up here above me. Mm-hmm. There's my most expensive thing on my Discogs, my Blur 21 box set, which I'm very proud to have and own. But the artwork for this and all the singles included this like 13, and the review is basically just like, this album is worthless, and it's basically just them trying to figure out how many ways you can write the number 13 and make it look like a B. So that's basically like what the 13 is. It's supposed to be like a B. And so all the singles and all the artwork with it and stuff all have to do with like how a person would write a 13 and connect the 1 and the 3 to make it into a B. And it's totally silly and has nothing to do with the music at all. But it's something that really stands out to me. And that's why I try not to ever look at reviews of albums, because it really colors my opinion of stuff.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I don't dislike the artwork for this, but I do enjoy this album a lot more than their self-titled one, which is the last one we listened to. But I don't like it as much as their 3 classic albums that I love, which is Modern Life is Rubbish, and then Park Life, which we listened to, and then my favorite album of theirs, The Great Escape, which we also listened to. So we've done those 2 reactions. And then you have also heard The Life of Darren, or Ballad of Darren, I think is The Life of Darren.
Yeah.
Their most recent album that was released. And then, anyway, it doesn't matter. But so the story with this album is, and let's get into it. So I have the Wikipedia album pulled up, and I wasn't going to read anything from it specifically, but I do think it's, rather than me rambling about this stuff, it's better for me to take the time to actually just read a few of these things. Sure. So it says 13 is the 6th studio album by English alternative rock band Blur. Notice they didn't say Britpop band, they said alternative rock. It says, continuing the band's stylistic shift away from the Britpop sound of their earlier career, 13 explores art rock and electronic styles. Lyrically, the album is darker and more personal than Blur's previous efforts, being heavily inspired by Damon Albarn's breakup with his longtime girlfriend, Justine Frischmann. And we learned on the last album that he was dating her, and that Justine Frischmann she was in the band Suede, and then in the band Elastic. They were both pretty popular, like 90s bands that were sort of similar to Blur, actually. And I've never really looked into them. But I wanted to read a couple other things here. It says 13 was the last Blur album for over a decade to feature the original lineup, as Graham Coxon later left the band during the 2002 sessions for their next album, Think Tank, before returning in 2009, and that's when they got back together to release their album that has it's the Japanese one that has the like ice cream cone on the front. Yep. This band was like a number 1 charting album. They debuted at number 1. It was hugely successful. It was certified platinum eventually. There were 3 singles from this album, which is track 1, Tender, then Coffee and TV, and No Distance Left to Run. All 3 of those songs are the 3 songs I mentioned earlier. I think those are 3 of Blur's best songs easily. And song I was talking about being in my top 50, maybe even top 30, maybe even top 20 if I think about it, songs of all time, is the first track, Tender. Is one of my favorite songs of all time. I will say it's one of my for sure one of my top 50 favorite songs of all time. Cool. And if you enjoy the song and we get through this reaction and we're still feeling okay, I would love to just do a separate video where we react to them performing that song in 2009 when they got back together with Jimmy Fallon on the Jimmy Fallon show. Okay. Because I've told you about that video before. I mentioned it in one of our other reactions. It's like one of my favorite live performances ever. And it's just them like all sitting around with acoustic instruments in the backstage where they filmed the Jimmy Fallon's, like the Tonight Show. And maybe it wasn't 2009. It might have been like later, 2015 or 2016. I'm sure it'll say in the video. But anyway, it's just them there performing the song. And it's like it's just awesome to see. And I remember seeing it live when they did it live, because I had heard that they were going to be on there, and I watched it, and it was like very emotional because they had not been together as a band for over a decade at that point. So it was very fun. And I think it's one of my favorite live performances ever. And it's just them doing that one song.
Nice.
And that song itself is super epic, and we'll talk about it when we get to it.
Sure.
So let me see what else it says here. There's a lot on the Wikipedia page basically saying that this album was fraught in turmoil with the band not getting along. And we have seen this with like every band that we have reacted to, but it definitely mirrors the Beatles from what we've been talking about with the Beatles.
Yeah, so I mean, if it is the same sort of arc with the 9-year career.
Yes, exactly.
And then a breakup.
Yep. And so one thing of note on this album is that every one of Blur's albums up to this point had been recorded and produced by a guy named Stephen Street. He had worked with the band from their very first album all the way through their self-titled, and then the band decided that they could tell Blur could tell that they weren't in like a good place, so they were like, we need to change something up. Let's get a new producer. And so the year before this album came out, they released this, which is a compilation called Bustin' and Dronin'.
Cool.
And it's a double disc set. The second disc is a whole show, not a whole show. It's 6 songs. Actually, online, I think it's more than this. So maybe they remastered or re-released this at one point. But the second disc is live performances of songs from across their whole catalog performed at what's called Peel Acres. I don't know where that is. It's probably assumed somewhere in England or in London. But the first disc is all remixes of songs from their previous album. So and it's actually, none of them are song 2. So it's the song Moving On, Death of a Party, Your Own, Beetle-Bum, Essex Dogs, Death of a Party, Theme from Retro, Death of a Party, and On Your Own Again. So it's multiple songs being done. But the first track on the compilation is Moving On, William Orbit remix. Okay. And they liked that song so much that he did for them. It's like a 9-minute long.
These are like club remixes?
No, not necessarily.
No? Okay.
It's very 90s.
Yeah.
It's very 90s remixes. So some of it is that, some of it's sort of industrial-ish kind of sounding. It's weird, but they specifically really liked the way the William Orbit one was. So they asked William Orbit if he would produce this album with them, and he was like, yes. So are you familiar with William Orbit at all?
No.
Okay, William Orbit is an electronic musician who's done a lot of things, and I believe the most famous thing that I'm aware of that he did was, I believe he did the score for the Mission Impossible movies. So I don't think he came up with the bum 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 bum, but his version of that from Mission Impossible 2, I believe, is the most iconic version of that song.
He did.
So
I mean, that was from the TV. That melody was from the TV show.
Right.
So yeah, but I know I have that soundtrack around here somewhere on CD. That was a huge soundtrack.
Yes. Yep. That's Metallica. All sorts of great stuff. We were talking about it in our Metallica video. And so. William Orbit is a very famous electronic musician, basically, and they wanted to work with him because they wanted him to bring more of an electronic side to this album, and so that's an important thing. So this album is the first one produced with a whole different person that has not worked with them before, and in this Wikipedia article, it kind of talks about how they brought him in, and he ended up kind of being a bit of a therapist for him, or like a psychiatrist for him, because they were all having these issues. But I just want to read a couple of these things here. So apparently a lot of this revolves around Damon having a really hard time with him breaking up with his girlfriend. And so there's a big part of this article basically that talks about how it was really obvious to everybody in the band that they were breaking up, but Damon was just clinging on to the relationship. And then when they did finally break up, that was when they were getting ready to record this. And so when they broke up, Damon had to move out, and he moved into this flat with a guy named Jamie Hewlett that he had met. And Jamie Hewlett, you will remember as being the guy who's the other dude from Gorillaz. So at the time of this recording was when him and Jamie were getting together and starting the concept of Gorillaz. And
I was going to ask that, because when was the first Gorillaz album?
2001.
Okay.
And so while they were recording this album, it does mention in here that there were actually rumors that there was a secret project going on between Damon and Jamie, and that actually was true, and that it ended up being what Gorillaz would eventually become.
I mean, I could see the tension there with the other band members. It's like, oh, our lead singer is going to work on this special thing he's not involving us in.
Yeah, which Damon has always been like a song factory, just like making stuff, but he was wholly focused on Blur, I believe, up until this point. So
sure.
Let's see here. I want to read a couple of these things because I thought it was kind of fun. It says William Orbit. It's Al Barn commented that it was such a personal thing going on. We needed to have someone who didn't really know us. So this is in relation to getting rid of Stephen Street and hiring William Orbit. He also described Orbit as being kind of like a psychiatrist. When asked if his replacement had come as a shock, Stephen Street stated, "I just think that they wanted to stretch out a bit more. Having made 5 albums with me, the best way that they could see or whatever was to have someone different who would approach the project in a different way." So it wasn't a bad parting or anything like that. It says, then this is the important paragraph, I feel. Tension in the studio ran high during the recording sessions. In Orbit's words, there was a battle between Damon's more experimental direction and Graham's punk one, and Graham prevailed. Okay.
That is okay. Well, I guess we'll find out. I'll keep that in mind as we listen.
If that tension had been growing on previous LPs, it came to a head here. Things were starting to fall apart between the 4 of us, said the drummer, David Rowntree. It was quite a sad process making this album. People were not turning up to sessions or turning up drunk and being abusive and storming off. And then Alex James, the bass player, said, I had songs. I played them to William and he really liked them, but I was sulking, so I never even showed the others. Now I know how George Harrison felt. That's his exact quote, which I think is awesome because I actually kind of understand it.
Yeah, and you'll understand that even more once we watch Get Back.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so it's okay. He says, I was really out there around 13, which made for some pretty great noise, but I was probably a bit of a crap to be around. So that's Graham Coxon, the guitar player. He said, I was really out there around 13, which made for some pretty great noise, but I was probably a bit of a crap to be around. And that has kind of been his... People think of him even still that way to this day as like a hard to get along with person because of kind of all the stuff that happened around this, but he is not like that anymore from my understanding. It says 13 holds an overall approval rating now of 79 out of 100. So it's almost an 80 review, an 80 on Metacritic, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
You know, on Metacritic, anything above 70 is really great.
Yeah.
And then they talk, I'm not going to read what anybody like gave it in their reviews or talked about it because I don't want to spoil anything. But basically there were sort of mixed reviews, but people were pretty happy with it. If you remember, I put a necklace on because I always try to dress up for the Blur videos a little bit. And so the one I put on now, like I would just try to wear different stuff every time. And so this is like some religious medals. But I now realize that I touch my chest a lot when we're recording because I've hit it like 5 times. I hit it like 5 times now. So sorry about that, everybody. No one gives a poop. So let's see. It was nominated for Album of the Year at the NME Awards. Something. It's been nominated for a ton of awards. Some in the U.S. Pitchfork nominated it for certain things. It's been listed in the top 100 albums of the 1990s by Pitchfork. It was listed as one of the best albums of 1999. It was nominated for Album of the Year. Germany. It was nominated for Album of the Year by the Rolling Stone in Germany. And then I thought this was pretty interesting. It says this album is ranked number 773 in the all-time top 1,000 albums list.
All right.
I don't know what that list is, but whatever it is, this album is ranked
Someone saw the Rolling Stones 500 and they're like, whatever, we can do
better than that. So this is ranked number 773. So that tells you there's been a lot of albums released over the entire period of human history. And the fact that they thought this was number 773 is pretty good. So
it makes me wonder if there's any Blur albums in the Rolling Stones 500, if Park Life's in there.
They are. It is, and Park Life is the one that's in there. Yeah.
So, and maybe you'll get to this. What was the status of the Britpop wars at this point? What was Oasis doing? Like, was it over?
It was over.
Okay.
Yeah, because do you know when Oasis, hey Google, when did Oasis quit being a band? That's a terrible way to phrase that.
2009.
2009, okay. Hey Google, stop. So they were still a band for 10 years after this, whereas Blur basically stopped being a band in 2000.
Okay.
And then
but both bands had already reached their peak and were
way before, in mid-90s. Yeah.
Okay.
And they were doing different things.
Yeah.
So if you remember though, this was the most popular Blur had ever been, because Song 2 was such a huge hit. Yeah. And so everyone was like, well, what are they going to follow it up with? Now we're talking 2 years after that, because Song 2 came out on their self-titled in 1997. And so I think the best thing to do is just listen, and we'll talk about the songs as they go. But we have to talk about track 1. So track 1 is Tender. It is, and I'm just going to read this from the Wikipedia page, is a song by English rock band Blur from their 6th studio album, written by the 4 members about Blur frontman Damon Albarn's breakup with the musician turned painter Justine Frischmann. The song was released, blah, blah, blah. Tender became Blur's 11th top 10 hit on the UK singles chart, debuting and peaking at number 2 the week after its release. It reached number 20, and it's reached the top 20 in Greece, Iceland, Italy, New Zealand, Norway, and Spain. So, I didn't look this up, but so it says okay. I'll bring that up after this. Okay. So let's just get to this, because I'm so excited for this. As I mentioned, this is one of my all-time favorite Blur songs, and literally in my top favorite songs of all time. Mm-hmm. So, as you look at the song, do you see anything interesting about it?
I mean, it's long.
It is.
In fact, a lot of these songs are long.
It is a long song. Yes, there are some songs on this. You notice Battle on there is 7:43. Yeah. And Carmel is 7:38. So I'm super excited to hear what you think of this album.
Yeah.
If you remember, I said last time I didn't care for that album as much, but that I liked this one more. I intentionally have not listened to this album since we started doing this Blur stuff. So it has been several years since I've listened to this album, and I did that on purpose. So this is going to be like me listening to, I don't think I've ever listened to this album from front to back with all the way through. Nice. So for me, this will be a first time listening all the way through, focusing on it the way we're doing. Okay. But let's get this journey started.
Yeah.
With Tender. Are you ready?
Yes.
This is Tender. In 3, 2, 1. I'm so excited for this.
Better make sure this isn't coming out of my speakers.
Let me know if it sounds familiar to you. This is one you could possibly have heard, but probably not.
I don't think so.
Also, just so you know, I have the fade outs board within arm's reach.
Tender is the night, lying by your side. Tender is the touch of someone that you love too much. Tender is the day the demons go away. Lord, I need to find someone who can heal my mind. Come on, come on, come on, get through it. Come on, come on, come on. Love's the greatest thing. Come on, come on, come on.
It is very hard for me to not sing every word of this song.
Come on, come on.
I can see why you like this one.
Yeah.
Love's the greatest.
More than any song I've ever heard in my life, when I listen to this song, it sticks with me afterwards. I will think of this song for weeks. So this is Graham doing this vocal part.
Okay.
And this is his most famous, this is synonymous with Graham. Which that's the same as the guitar part that started the song. Bow, down, 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 down.
There is the ghost I love the most, hiding from the sun.
If you want to pull the lyrics up, you can. They are available on Spotify.
Yeah, I got them.
Okay.
But they're also really easy to hear.
Yeah. Yes.
Lord, I need to find someone who can heal my mind. Come on, come on, come on, get through it. Come on, come on, come on, love's the greatest thing. Come on, come on, come on, get through it. Come on, come on, come on, love's the greatest thing that we have. I'm waiting for that feeling, waiting for that feeling, waiting for that feeling to come. Oh, my baby.
Picking up a little, right?
Yeah, it really feels like we're marching towards something here.
Yeah. Dude, there's Beatles in this for sure.
Love's the greatest thing. Come on, come on, come on, get through it. Come on, come on, come on, love's the greatest thing.
Yeah, it really makes you want to sing that.
Yes.
Love's the greatest thing.
Yes.
Waiting for that feeling, waiting for that feeling to come. Oh, my baby, oh, my baby, oh, my baby, tender is the night, lying by your side. Tender is the touch of someone that you love too much. Tender is my heart, you know, it's screwing up my life. Oh Lord, I need to find someone who can heal my mind. Come on, come on, come on, get through it. Come on, come on, come on.
Love's the greatest thing.
I know, right?
I love that deep voice.
Yeah.
Get through it. Come on, come on, come on. Love's the greatest thing that we have. I'm waiting for that feeling. I'm waiting for that feeling. Waiting for that feeling to come. Oh, my baby.
I think he's saying kill me there. Like on the side. Kill me.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. It doesn't say that in the lyrics.
He's definitely saying something different though.
It would certainly fit with what's going on. That's one. Okay, so really curious to get your feeling on what on that.
Do you feel like it's kind of long?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought it was going to mix it up at some point.
But it didn't.
And it didn't. And I usually like when songs do that, and I don't necessarily want to say that you have to do that. Because it was a very pretty song, and I like the plotting, like it was like a march, but there was like a little bit of Western feel in the guitar, and then there was like the choir feeling in the background, and that stuff all worked together really great, and it was a nice song. Yeah.
See, to me, the length of that song is the message of the song. Like, he's just like waiting. He's waiting for that feeling to come, and it just is not coming. It's just waiting and waiting and waiting. And every time they do the chorus, every single time, it's basically the same thing. They don't change it up that much. The choir vocals are adding the like gospel choir feeling part, are adding their part. But then every time it comes back down to Graham just going, "Oh my baby," and that's just. Yeah, it's just what it is, and it keeps repeating, and it keeps going, and it doesn't really alter or change that much. They do add some things to it, but I think that's the point of it. I think,
for sure.
I think that is like what it's supposed to be, and I love it. I just love that song. I think
you
that
might
is
even
like,
say that the fade out is appropriate in that situation.
I think this is one of those cases where you could argue that. Now, I still
feel
think
like it goes on forever.
You do, because it does, and the feeling maybe does, you know? And so I agree with that. And I think this would be a song that you could bring up if you were going to argue for that. We don't abide by fade outs here, and I don't like fade outs ever, and it is a lazy songwriting thing that people do. But
if you had to pick one.
But I think you are correct.
The least egregious fade out.
Yes, I do. I think that thematically you could see how that would work.
Yeah, and it was a long fade out too.
Yes, very long.
So yeah, it was good, and I think if I heard that song one or two more times, I think the length would grow on me, because I generally do like songs that are long and plotting. Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, the fact that is like almost 8 minutes is crazy to me.
Yeah. With
how similar it is the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, and like there's no cymbals. It's just. And it's just tambourine, and I think that's maybe one of the reasons I love that live version with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah,
because
I can see a live
first
version.
of all, they do end it, and also like you can just see the exuberance on everybody just performing the song, and it's just like so. It's a sad song, but it's so wholesome, and it's just so like and I love the lyrics in it, because Damon's part is so like, love's the greatest thing, you know? So it's like, and even with the verses, you know, tender is the touch of someone that you love too much, like something like that. Tender is the day, you know, and all this like super kind of happy stuff. But then, then they're just like, you know, you've lost it. And now here we're talking about the lyrics. And then, but then it's like, I'm waiting for that feeling. Like, you know, I'm waiting for it. And then, and you kind of, because at first you're like, oh, this is a love song. And then you're kind of listening, you're like, oh, maybe not. And then Graham's part comes in. It's just that like soulful, old timey, you know, bluegrassy, oh my baby, you know, it's amazing, because like I said, this song will stick with me in my head for longer than any other song. Like, other than Backstreet Boys' Backstreet's Back All Right, which is like literally the thing that's perpetually in my head forever. Like, other than that, this song, when I hear it for the next for weeks, I'll be walking around just going, oh my baby. And then I'll be going, come on, come on, come on, get through it. You know, love's the greatest thing that we have. You know, it's like everybody else in the song is around Damon, and he's just trying so hard to be like, no, love's so great, and everyone else is just like, come on, come on, come on.
Yeah, right.
I love it. I love everything about that song. I think that is a top tier song. Like, writing, performing, melodically, harmonically, like everything that's happening there is just French kiss, not French kiss, chef's kiss. I mean, you could French kiss this song too. It's worth it. So like, so
I
good.
could just picture them sitting around in a circle playing the song, which is probably what they did on backstage.
Jimmy Fallon,
there, right?
Yeah, 1000%.
You know, it's while they're just like in an unplugged MTV unplugged situation or something where the crowd is around them. You know.
Now, is that kind of a song what you were expecting from Blur here at this point after what we kind of talked about? Because
I mean, you said it was very breakup inspired, so I guess it was not punk inspired.
Yeah.
Like with that, but I don't really know what to expect with Blur after their last album, with them switching that was with their self-titled and switching it up, and like they've changed a lot, and it's like I'm trying to listen for like. You mentioned something about electronic influence on this, which we didn't really hear here.
None. Yeah.
I'm trying to listen for like a transition to the Gorillaz, which I know is a different band.
No, I was going to tell you to do that. Like try to.
Okay.
And see, to me, even like listening to Damon's vocals there, like there are parts where he's shifting up into that like. Waited for that feel, like because he's in the choir in the background stuff. Like there are definitely parts where you can hear it and be like, okay, this is like 2D's voice later on. And if you remember, there was that one sort of rap inspired song off of their previous album that was like, so take me home, don't leave me alone, I'm not that good, but I'm not that bad, no psycho killer, booty like gorilla, like that kind of thing with the like Beastie Boys, like, and in the video they're like all like getting up in the camera like, whoa.
Oh, it's right. Know,
it's like literally like exactly like a Beastie Boys type thing. So like the seed was planted before all this. And plus, remember, we talked about in Park Life and Great Escape, the cool thing about Blur is that you literally don't know what to expect from song to song. Yeah. And then they kept that, but they changed what they were doing into something that was far less pleasant for me. And you kind of agreed with me too. So we'll see. Because that song we just heard there is just like, oh, it's so good to me.
Now, the last album started with B.L.U.R.E.M.I, is that right?
Yes.
It's sort of, I'm having a really hard time picturing what B.L.U.R.E.M.I is, but I kind of remember my reaction to it. And it was like a serious, kind of a slower, it was kind of a similar intro.
Yes. Yep. B.L.U.R.E.M is more, B.L.U.R.E.M was the one that was just like dum 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 da dum 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 da. And then B.L.U.R.E.M.
That's right. Yeah.
What you done? She's a gun.
Got kind of those dreamy vocals.
Very much so, yes.
Like this has.
Yeah. Now, I will say, in terms of the mix of this song, I love it. I think it's great. Feels very plodding. The fact that there weren't any cymbals or anything, like David was not playing a full drum kit on this or anything at all. Yeah. It's very... and then just shaker, tambourine, choir, the guitars. I love the way I've talked about Graham Coxon's guitar playing in every one of these videos, because I love that you just have, if you listen to the guitar at any given moment and you just focus on that, you're like, what the hell is he doing? It just, nothing that he ever plays feels like it belongs inside of these songs, but it just works so well. And he does that on that whole song. The whole time he's off to the sides, just like during this whole slow thing, and you just don't realize it because it's just adding like noise to the song.
Yeah.
And speaking of noise, let's get to track 2.
All right.
Are you ready for the Bugman?
The Bugman.
The Bugman. All right. Bugman in 3, 2, 1.
Buzzy.
I said speaking of noise.
Yeah. I love how they use little electronic sound effects and stuff.
It sure would be ridiculous if this song sounded like this the whole time, wouldn't it?
I mean, So sometimes they start, when they get a little more punk, they start sounding a little Sex Pistols-y.
Yeah. I'm looking at the lyrics for the first time now. I've never thought about the lyrics of any of this.
Look out for the Bugman. Who's the Bugman? It's a drug thing? I kind of like this.
I knew you would. I think that guitar tone's like one of the most annoying things I've ever heard in my life. It's so much.
Oh, that was like a bullfrog noise.
Yeah.
That's some Blur.
Yeah, they're like hiding what Blur is behind a giant wall of white noise.
Is it a vacuum cleaner?
Probably. William Orbit's a weird dude.
That is a...
I think it's someone just
a power tool
twiddling a knob. I think it's.
Yeah, I think it's just some sort of square wave.
Yeah. I have to like yell at you to.
Yeah, and the vocals are like so in the background.
Yeah. Surely this can't go on for another 3 minutes.
The lyrics are done.
I'm a boo-boo bug.
This fiddling of knobs is very early Devo sound.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, just like... just messing with your synthesizers.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of this is Graham's guitar pedals, which is functions the same way.
Yeah. I don't... Whatever that choppy sound is, I'm not... It's not really doing it for me.
Oh, yeah? You don't think this is...
It'd be great if they cut the song right there.
Oh really?
Oh.
Looking for the bug, man.
Yeah, what a change from the last song.
I know, right?
But that's what I like about him.
Yep.
That sounded like you doing that.
I know, right? It's... I know
These lyrics aren't even in there.
Space is the place.
Space is the place. I gotta look up the meaning.
Look up what?
The meaning
of this song?
Yeah. How are these lyrics not listed in the lyrics? They're on Genius.
Okay, make sure you pause the song before it goes into the next one.
Oh, yeah, got it. All right.
Okay.
Would you believe this song is very much about drugs, and all the freak out accompanying the lyrics drive this point home?
You know, I would believe that.
The Bugman was Albarn's drug dealer. All right.
Interesting. Okay.
I've heard that term. Not Bugman. I've heard of bugs being used that way though. So.
Well, yeah, cockroach, roach.
Oh, sure.
That
Maybe.
kind of thing. But I mean, but it also could literally be about going out into the country and having bugs be annoying to you, which is really funny because like the literal meaning is just as, funny. So yeah, that is one of that. I can think of maybe 2 or 3 other songs that I've heard throughout all of the music I've ever heard that is as annoying as that is. I mean, that is just like, you are trolling people.
Yeah.
When you make something like that, like,
well, and this wasn't a punk song, but that's the punk mentality.
Yes. Yeah,
it's like,
for
screw
sure.
the audience.
Yeah. And they definitely were there. Like, that's the whole point of that. So like, I get it. And even I love the fact, and I'm sure they did this on purpose, but I love the fact that there is kind of like a fun, catchy song behind, like underneath that.
Yeah.
Na, 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 na.
Yeah.
You know, like a stereotypical
buried
Blur thing. And then it's just covered in mountains of noise.
Yeah.
Just noise.
Yeah.
So
let's
move
I
on
wouldn't
from
listen
that.
to it right again, but
Yeah, I know you.
It was cool.
You can be like, hey, Audrey, listen to this. I want to show you this new song. Play it on your phone speaker and see what you hear. None of that. Yeah, this is great. I can't believe this is the best song we ever reacted to. Okay. Now, speaking of best song, we are now to Coffee and TV, which I can confidently say I've been waiting to tell you this for a long time. This is my number one favorite Blur song. This is my number one favorite Blur song, my favorite music video of theirs. I adore this song beyond belief. You can see that it has 155 million plays. It's the most played song from this album. It is the big single. And there is something very different about this song than any Blur song you have heard before.
Okay.
So let's get to it, everybody. This is the moment you've been waiting for in the video. This is Coffee and TV. In 3, 2, 1.
Wind chime.
Mm-hmm.
90s guitar tone.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
It's like very Matthew Sweet or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the chorus. I don't know if this is really grabbing me like it does you, though.
I know, right?
Huh.
That was what I was going to talk about. Like, the fact that I like this song so much is mind-boggling, because it is totally the antithesis of what I ever say that I like. But we can talk about it when the song's over.
Yeah. I like these little guitar parts.
Oh, yeah.
This does not scream single to me, though.
I know, right? Little organ-y part.
Yeah. I do like this ending.
Blur, coffee, and TV.
But there's still a minute left. What's happening? Okay, so this probably wouldn't have been part of the radio single.
No, huh? And it's not. I think it is in the music video, though.
Curious what organ that is. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like a scratchy sound to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess you got to tell me why you like that so much.
I know, right? It's so I think one of the main reasons for, well, it is so different from things that I normally say that I like, because I often talk about how I don't care for like acoustic guitars that much even. And if I do hear acoustic guitars, all the acoustic guitars I love are like picked acoustic guitars, not strummed acoustic
you like
guitars.
A Western feel,
right.
old-timey.
Bluegrassy type of, or dark, slow, whatever. And that is literally just the most cliche dum 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 dum. Right. So kind of we were talking about at the beginning of the video, like this song is just kind of the exception to the rule. Like it fades out. It has it's goofy, but just there's something so calming to me about the chorus and the just I've seen so much, I'm going blind and I'm brain dead virtually. I love the fact, so Graham sings lead vocals on that song the entire time. The only part that's really Damon is the higher part, so stability. Yeah. And then he does background vocals, but otherwise that is a Graham song. And the music video, you should look up the music video, just like look up images of it.
Okay.
Because what you'll see is a carton of milk when you get the carton of milk, right?
I've seen that milk guy before.
Yes. So that is from this music video.
Huh.
And so it's a person in a milk costume who is walking around, and then they used digital effects to have like a face on it and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so the music video is just that little dude like walking around going right the whole time, and it's just awesome, and it has to do with being missing, I believe, on the cover, on the milk carton, and then like the milk carton makes its way back home, it gets lost or thrown out like trash or something, and then at the very end of the video, if I remember correctly, I think Graham takes it and opens it and pours it in his cereal and then throws it away or whatever. And he's like so happy that he got used or something. I don't remember it exactly, but I think one of the reasons I love this song so much and I should have brought this down here, and I'm kind of mad that I forgot about it. But because Blur had to release like so many albums or whatever on their record label with EMI, which is who their record label was, which they had a lot of problems with before this. And that is referenced in their song B.L.U.R.E.M.I, which is coming up in a few tracks.
Yeah, I saw that. And they've referenced EMI before in there.
They have, yes. They had a lot of trouble with their record
British,
label.
you know, the Sex Pistols have a song about EMI as well. I've never heard so many bands like trash their record labels more than British bands trash EMI.
Yep. I mean, there's probably a good reason for it, but I'm not super up to date on all that. But anyway,
I think over here we just had a lot more record labels, and it's probably
that's
over there.
probably true. You know,
if you're over there and you're a huge band, you're probably on EMI at the time.
Yeah, or Polydor or whatever.
Maybe.
But still, what I was going to say is, in a way, as a way to try to get another album out, they released the Blur Best Of collection, which is the first Blur CD I ever bought. So after and I think it came out in 2000, I want to say, and it's very famous. It's got like cartoon covers of them on the front in squares that are colored squares. It's very similar to the cover of Demon Days from Gorillaz, actually.
Or Let It Be.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%. Yeah. But look up the cover of Blur Best Of. Just like look it up real quick and see the images for it. But like, it's the same cover that they use. They released all of their music videos on DVD, which I have. And then also...
I see. It's like a cartoon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So that image of them is very famous image of them. Okay. And that is the cover. If you scroll down, you can see the title, the songs that are on there. Mm-hmm. So it's got... Beetlebum, Song 2, There's No Other Way, The Universal, Coffee and TV is track 5. And so I listened to this a lot, this disc, a lot. And this is the thing that helped me fall in love with Blur, I would say. Okay. And then I went back and started buying all of their albums. Now you can see on here that the final track is Music Is My Radar.
Yeah.
Music Is My Radar is actually a song that they released for this compilation only.
Was it like the last thing they recorded?
It is one of the last things that they recorded. And I believe that the intro of it, what they used as the intro of a song, there's like it's like a squeak or something. It's like a squeaky sample of a squeaker, like a wagon or something, at the beginning of that song. That same sample was used at the beginning of a song, my favorite song actually, on Think Tank, which is their 2003 album. Okay. And that album is the one that's I believe, very inspired by the Gorillaz. And that's the one that Graham is not on. So all the guitar on that album is played by Damon, I believe. And there's way less guitar on there. They did have a different guitar player. But anyway, I was going to bring this up before I forget it. So Graham left after when they started writing their next album. So Tender became such a big song for them that I forgot to say this earlier. Tender became such a big song for them when they would perform it later when Graham was not in the band anymore. When it got to that part, no one would sing it. They just let the audience sing it. So the audience would sing, "Oh my baby," and it became like a huge part of the song. So even now today, when Graham is still there, the audience just like shouts that part, and it's really awesome to see on their live DVDs and stuff. Yeah. But anyway, so Coffee and TV is such a weird song to me, but I think one of the reasons I love it so much is because it was on that Best Of collection and it really stood out to me. And it also stands out to me on this album as being like one of the really only good songs. And I was debating about whether or not I should say that or not, but I think as we go through, I'll probably be pleasantly surprised by some of these. But yeah, it's just
it was kind of a song that you could have seen on their previous album.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It harkens back to their poppiness a little bit, and they also just. I love that. I just love it. I love the melody of it. I love the weird guitar part, the guitar solo in the middle, and then the like weird guitar stuff. It's very much a Blur song, and at the same time, exactly not what a Blur song is, because they were trying so hard at this point to not have a song that was like a hit song. you know?
Yeah.
They accidentally had a hit with song 2, their biggest song ever. And so then they were like, well, crap, you know? So then I can imagine them on this album fighting each other and just being like, no, we're not doing that, blah, 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 whatever. And like they said, Graham wanted the album to be more punky influenced and Damon wanted it to be more experimental, which there is a lot of both of those things on this. So
was anybody saying we need another song too?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And I don't think you could tell them anything at this point.
Yeah.
Like the record labels, I don't think had any control over what they were doing or anything. So
sure.
But so yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't have too much to say about that one. I think the music video is fantastic, and everyone who's watching this should go check out the music video. I would say that.
Yeah, I'll watch it after this, but I think the music video would add to my enjoyment of this.
Yeah, it really did for me, because I bought the CD first, and it's a double disc CD that has a bunch of live songs on the second disc. There's a deluxe edition of the best of and a regular edition, and I happened to find used at Hastings in Fremont. This is way before I worked there. I happened to find a used copy of their the deluxe edition. So I have the deluxe. I wish I would have thought to bring it down. I'm a dummy. I have the deluxe edition that has a bonus disc that has like a bunch of extra stuff on it and is mostly, I think, live stuff on the second disc. So I loved that. And so because of that, I grew to love this song. And then when I got to the album and actually heard this album, I was like, wait a second, you know? So yeah. But again, we're 3 songs into this album, and I've just told you that I adore 2 of these 3 songs.
Yeah.
So that tells you something, I guess. So
we're also like 20 minutes into this album.
I know.
Through only 3 songs.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so let's get to track 4, Swamp Song.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, Swamp Song in 3, 2, 1.
I'm expecting like a Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh, really? Okay.
Give me good times. Give me soul life. Give me fever. I'm a believer. Yeah, yeah. Give me insight. Give me space brain. Give me music and rhythm. La penicilla. Give me good times. No jump rides. Give me easy breathing. Give me everything, everything, everything.
Waka waka.
This is like Rage Against the Machine.
Give me good times.
Ah.
Soul life.
Right? That's pretty Gorillaz.
Yeah.
I'm a believer. Give me insight. Give me space brain.
More space stuff.
Don't leave me
Yeah. Overarching theme?
Well, and I think when he's referring to space, I think he's probably referring to being on drugs, I would assume.
Probably.
I don't know what else space brain could be. I also want to point out that we are not listening to any remastered version. I believe this is just the original version. So far, everything... Well, we listened to the original CD rips of their first 2... The first 2 reactions we did. And then we listened to, on Spotify, the remastered version of their self-titled album. And then this one just doesn't say remastered. It's just the original files, I believe.
Yeah, it's songs about heroin, apparently.
There you go. Space Brain. So I don't know about you, but I find this to be incredibly boring.
Yeah, it's not doing a whole lot for me.
Yeah.
I kind of like some of the sound effects they're doing, and like
and how the vocals sound like they're getting so close to you at times. They did that on Bugman as well.
And I like there was kind of a swampy feel to the down, but like the lyrics are just kind of give me this, give me that. It just kind of goes on and on. And,
It's very avant-garde.
Yeah.
Like there's avant-garde feeling, experimental feeling stuff all over this.
Mm-hmm. I'd say if you have one track that describes the cover of the album, maybe this one.
That's a good thought, because it's kind of plodding and slow, but at the same time, like very repetitive, blurry, kind of,
and like kind of industrial, and
yeah. So I don't have that much to say about that one, because to me that's just it was very repetitive, and there wasn't really anything. Like it's like swimming in a soup or something, which I guess is the swampy feeling part of it. Like it is just like, because when I think of swamp, I think of like a twangy sort of,
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you mean by Jerry Lee Lewis, though? Like what
Didn't
Jerry Lee Lewis song?
Didn't he sing Amos Moses?
I don't know what that is, but see, when I think of Jerry Lewis, I think of like, I don't know, like an Elvis type of song or something like that.
Oh, I'm thinking of Jerry Reed. Sorry.
But Jerry Reed. Yeah, I don't even know who that is. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm glad I asked, though, so you could clarify. Because people would be like, what are you talking about Jerry Lee Lewis?
Jerry Lee Lewis was more like honky tonk.
Yeah.
I confuse both those all the time.
Oh, that's all right. I don't think anyone would care about that. So, not that would care that you get them mixed up. You know what I mean? Like, that's understandable
for them.
Understandable. Okay, so this next song is in 1992, and I didn't know this, but I read this on Wikipedia earlier that this song was originally a song that Damon wrote in 1992, and he recorded a demo of himself performing it, and then he lost it.
Oh.
He completely lost the cassette tape or whatever it was recorded on, and didn't find it until 1996.
Hey, all right.
So this is apparently a song from around 1992. So it's kind of cool. This is 1992 in 3, 2, 1.
There's no way this part was on the original demo.
No.
I guess if there's an overarching theme to this album, it's that noise.
Yeah, just noise in general.
Yeah.
I would say.
I guess that's that producer, huh?
No, it's Graham.
Oh, that's that.
Yeah, and I think that...
the influence that he had.
Yeah, and I think that Damon likes this kind of stuff too, though. Like, it's the experimental side of things. But Graham just plays weird sounding guitar. It's stuff like that is there. This is so quiet and weird. And that's kind of why I never listened to this album or the previous one. It just seems like it's so droney and just like...
You wouldn't hear stuff like that on the Gorillaz albums.
No.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't. And that's why I think it's coming from Graham.
Sure.
And his, like, influence and just, like...
I like it here and there, but, like, if I think about, like, thinking about these songs compared to, like, half the stuff on Park Life, like, I just, like, that album makes me smile, you know?
I know, and this is... And I think that
and not everything has to be happy or whatever. But, like, I don't know, this stuff is just so brooding and industrial.
Yeah. And it's uninteresting. Like, intentionally uninteresting. Like, no one would... No, they're not making this going, man, people are going to love this, you know?
This is going to be a bop.
Yeah, and so, but I do think that Damon is really a, like, in his feelings type of person. So, like, I think the music is a reflection of the way he was feeling, which was very confused and frustrated. And so I do think that there's a part of that in this as well. And it's just unpleasant because that's how they were all feeling.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
And that's why something, you know, we often talk about when we talk about when we're listening to super heavy albums. Chris Parker and I talk about this all the time. Like, when we're listening to super, like, heavy metal albums, sometimes the, like, really quiet parts of those albums stand out so much because of what they're being surrounded by, right? Like,
oh man, this is getting crazy loud.
Well, because our ears had adjusted to how quiet everything was.
See, this noise to me is more annoying than anything in Bugman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is annoying too, but not as much as annoying as the shrill frequencies of that guitar.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I get what you're saying. This is evoking a feeling, and it's not the kind of feeling I generally like to have when I'm listening to music.
But the thing is, I don't think it's supposed to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
So it's like they're doing what they're trying to do, I believe. It's just not what we associate this band with. And but what I was getting at though is, like, I think one of the reasons Coffee and TV is so great is because this is what surrounds it. You know what I mean?
I could see that.
And that's what I was getting at. Like, sometimes, like, the ballad on a really heavy album really stands out as being phenomenal. But if you wrote a whole album of ballads, it wouldn't be that special. So it's what's surrounding it. If you look at the piece of art as a whole, it's that one thing that really stands out intentionally and makes it and feels even better. So, like, that's what I think of Bugman and Tender and No Distance Left to Run. And there are other songs on this album that I do enjoy and like. But, like, to me, that song was basically just an entire waste of 5.5 minutes. This song is.
Yeah, this is getting close to Revolution number 9 territory.
It is. But it's people performing something rather than just cutting stuff up. So it's like... Yeah.
But in terms of how it makes me feel and what I'm listening to, it might as well be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a song in there at the first third of it or whatever.
Yeah, I guess.
I'd be curious what the original demo sounded like, because, you know, 90% of that song was probably not that.
Yeah, I have no idea. And I do love the way it started, where it almost sounded like you could hear, like, a tape saturation, like something bleeding through a tape of, like, there was piano and stuff you heard at the very, very, very beginning. Like, I'm going to listen to it again. Go back to the very, very beginning, like the first 20 seconds, and just see, okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it, like, fades in with other stuff going on.
And then fades out.
Yeah.
And then, so that kind of sounds like you recorded something and then you recorded over it, and there was, like, a little bleed or something through it.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure that stuff, everything we heard there was, like, intentional.
Maybe that was from the original demo tape.
It could have been.
Or something,
It could have been, and I definitely would. Whoops. Sorry, my feet fell off the chair I had them leaning on. Let's not worry about this one, though, because I'm genuinely excited to get to this next one. So,
okay. Cool.
Okay, this is B.L.U.R.E.M.I, and you can see on the artwork that's below us here, the R is blue in B.L.U.R.E.M.I, so it looks like blue EMI.
Kind of, yeah.
And or just I think they did. I was going to look this up while we were listening to the I was going to look up why the R is specifically blue, but people, if I ever look stuff up on my phone while we're listening to a song, people are like, oh, it's so disrespectful. Which, I mean, to me, the boringness of that song was disrespectful to me in my time, which was wasted listening to it. But for all of you watching,
this is what people are talking about when they say you're being condescending.
Yeah, but that's me doing it on purpose. That was an intentional being condescending on purpose because obviously I knew what I was saying there was mean, but they made me listen to that whole song, Cody.
Yeah.
they forced us to listen to that garbage that entire time.
We'll figure this out from the lyrics ourselves.
Okay.
Why the R is blue.
Okay, so this is B.L.U.R.E.M.I. in 3, 2, 1.
I was almost going to point out before, if I had to pick which one would be the punk one, I would assume it's this one.
Oh, okay.
Because the length. Yeah.
I love this.
Oh, I love these lyrics.
Adidas.
What the heck? Oh, that's what they're saying. I get it.
Yep.
It's Here's what the loop.
Oh, yep.
I love how stilted they are.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite ones of their punk songs for sure.
Oh yeah. It's like mostly mono too, except his vocals.
Is that a melodica?
I think so. A harmonium or some kind of something.
Sounds like a little bug speaking. It's the Bugman.
Yep.
DJ. They kind of did this at the end of Coffee and TV, right?
Yes. So it's contrasting in this case, it's the contrast between the crazy chaos and then the pretty.
Yeah. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of gorillas in that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pause it. So, yes, I love that. And I especially love the B.L.U.R.E.M.I. B.L.U.R.E.M.I. Right. So, to spoil something off of Think Tank for you, because I really want us to do Think Tank, the big single from Think Tank that had a music video accompany and everything, it's basically taking that song and song 2, mixing them together, and they use that sound that they used for the B.L.U.R.E.M.I. part there. They use that sound as the hook for the song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which the second you hear that song, you'll be like, oh, this. I would actually even be a little surprised if when you do hear that song off of that album, you're like, oh, I heard this back on the radio in the day.
Yeah.
Because it's such a unique, weird thing. And it also feels very similar to song 2. So it's like they were being forced to like make a thing. And they did. But I love it. I think it's cool. And so just try to remember that particular sound, though I think it's hard to forget that. But
yeah, that was great.
So there's your punk song on the album.
Good.
And
I'm glad they're still doing that.
Yes. Yep.
Do me a favor, go back to the last 3 seconds of this song. Go to like 2:45.
Okay.
Something weird happens with
2:45. Okay, I'm listening.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, it just kind of cuts off. It just cuts off.
It's like a static. It's like it sounds like my turntable's messed up or something.
Yeah, that's
it
what
clicks and then it.
Trust me, that click is sound I am very familiar with. That is what happens when you have an audio signal that just gets cut off with no fade. With no fade. That's the click, the sound that it makes. I could make
it's
that
like a
sound
static, like you pulled the plug kind of a thing, you know?
Yes, but it's worse than that, because that anytime you're recording and you just stop recording, that's the sound that it makes at the end of the recording. And so
it's interesting that would end that way.
I have heard that sound in professional recordings a few times, and I can point out where, because that is a super unprofessional thing to have in a song, within a song.
And maybe it was intentional. I don't know.
In this case, it was for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was left. It was. They could have removed that, but they didn't. So that's the intentional part of it. But that sound, that particular sound, which, yes, saying when you put your needle down on the record, that's the first thing you hear.
Or like when you lift it up or something like that. Or
that electronic signal. Yes.
It's like a static. It's like a grounding static shock or something.
Yeah. That sound is, I've heard that millions of times.
Okay.
So yeah, that's very audacious of them to leave that in there. But what have we heard so far this whole album? Everything that they're doing is audacious. Mm-hmm. So,
all right.
By the way, I just want to say, I'm not a huge fan of this shirt because it's got such a wide collar, but how badass is this shirt? I just want to say
on there.
Well,
Who's
what
in
is
the front? Well, it's their. Is it Mario and Peach on the?
Yeah, it's Mario and Peach and Yoshi.
Yoshi, gotcha. Very nice.
Isn't it awesome?
Is that a Goodwill find?
No, this is a Day of the Shirt. So this is back when I used to order shirts all the time offline. They would have dayoftheshirt.com, which there were a bunch of shirts that would illegally sell artwork that was made by someone that they would take and print the shirt for one day. Mm-hmm. So you could only, it was from Thread Tees. There were all these different websites, and I would check it every day. And I would order t-shirts from them because it was like $15 with shipping for a shirt. Yeah. And then the business model was, we're going to sell you like this sweet Mario shirt without Nintendo's knowledge or anything. And we're going to sell you, I have a Shadow of the Colossus shirt, a Metal Gear Solid shirts, community t-shirts. I have shirts of all my favorite things that were from that. And I loved it. Okay, so we just took a little bit of a break, but I went and got a couple snacks because I haven't eaten lunch yet. And so I'm going to eat these while we're listening to this song, because I'm surely, Cody, I don't know if you remember that we did this last Blur album, but I kept going, surely this song's not going to be like this for 6 minutes. Surely this song isn't going to be some atrocious slog for the next 7 minutes and 43 seconds, right? Surely it's not going to be.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, if it just so happens to be a bit of a slog, I can eat these snacks during this one. So we'll see.
Looks like you got some soft snacks, so they won't.
Right. Yep. And and I brought some peanuts because Adam Sessler, speaking of the internet circa 2010, Adam Sessler on XPlay used to say that when he would review games, you always should have a bowl of peanuts or some kind of a protein next to you that give you some energy. So I grabbed that, and then I also grabbed some chocolate stuff to give me some sugar energy as well. So
there you go.
All right. Battle in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, where's all this electronic stuff I've been promised?
Yeah, I mean, if what they mean is just like the electronic noise and the synthesizer stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
More industrial than electronic,
Although,
I'd say.
I think a lot of the stuff you're perceiving as being electronic noises are actually coming from Graham and his guitar pedals.
Okay. Like this?
No, this is all electronic.
Okay.
but I would say this is the first electronic thing we've encountered.
Yeah. I don't know if you get the little animated thumbnail on your right side of Spotify, but they just took the lens flare and it just rotates around constantly.
Oh, really? No, I haven't seen that. No.
It's kind of cool. It makes the painting like 3D. It adds like texture to it.
Interesting. I'll see if I can bring that up.
But it is just that stock lens flare.
Yeah, I do not get it.
Huh.
Okay, so I will say, first of all, love the drum sound here. Very massive. Surely it's not this for 7 minutes.
Battle, battle, battle.
Very Gorillaz. Battle, battle.
Yeah. Making a candy lineup.
I gotta eat the raisins first because raisins are gross. Oh,
you don't have to eat them.
Excuse me, it's dried cherries. Where am I gonna waste the food?
Yeah.
There are children starving in Africa right now, Cody.
The drums are the star of this song, I guess.
And that cool doom doom, that's like spacey sound.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah.
I don't really like the lyrics. I don't like the vocals. Really, I don't think it fits the song very well.
We talk with heavy music a lot that the vocals have to match the intensity of the music.
Yeah.
And there can be different ways of doing that. Doesn't mean it has to be harsh.
Yeah. You don't
but this is a good example of the vocals not matching the intensity of the music.
This is like, I mean, it's like he's like right in my ear. Battle, battle, battle. Like so soft. And
it's interesting the way it's recorded for sure.
Yeah. When I think of a battle, I don't think of close mic'd whispering.
But this is an internal battle, Cody.
Okay.
The voices are talking to him in his head.
What was I thinking?
Like that thing in the middle that sounds like birds.
Yeah.
I think that's from Graham's guitar.
Okay.
This is very trip hop.
Yeah.
Which is what the Gorillaz' first album is, trip hop.
Yeah, I could see this being this part being an intro to a Gorillaz song.
Yeah, for sure.
That ends up being better.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Gorillaz doesn't use a lot of real drums.
Okay.
So that's one of the...
Ooh, cool.
The like crazy overcompressed feeling of the drums here, though, is really cool. This is very doomy to me. Like stoner rock, doom metal, sludge metal type stuff.
Yeah. It says it features a syncopated drum beat. I don't know what that means.
Syncopated would be like the drums are doing like, it feels like it's multiple drum parts at the same time.
Okay.
No, that's polyrhythmic. I'm not sure what syncopated in that regard means. I'll look it up. You listen to the song.
The deliberate displacement of rhythmic accents or stressors.
Oh, okay.
I could see that.
So like accenting the parts of the drums, the drum beat that you wouldn't expect to be accented.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
You could have a rapper rap over this. Okay, last thing I got is this Werther's original.
He's such an old man.
Yeah, but it's This one has it's caramel, but it's got like juice inside of it. It's really good.
Oh, it's like a chewy one?
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Well, it's hard on the outside, but then it's got chewy on the inside.
Oh, okay. I love the chewy ones.
So this is very trip hop.
Yeah. Whoa. It's like they're fading it out in steps. It's kind of weird. Okay, do we get little bells at the end here?
Some little happy thing.
Yeah. It's that beeping organ again.
I actually don't mind having these things at the end of the tracks.
Yeah. Well, and something I liked on their previous albums was their little interlude tracks, or like a break in the middle where it's just like a little 1 minute thing. It's like that's kind of what these are.
Little intermission thing.
Yeah, I'm okay tacking them onto the end of a track.
Yeah.
So I don't really care how they do it, you know?
Well, that's always kind of the debate, right? Like, the more hip-hop thing to do would be to have it be on its own track so that there's little interlude things in between. And I go back and forth as to which I prefer, actually, you know, because it's not actually accurately representing the length of the song at all. The song's only 6.5 minutes long, but the last minute here has been this other stuff.
Well, and I think a more modern thing to do would be separate them, because then people can put this in their Spotify without
having to listen to
the
that
thing
part
on the
of it,
end or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it seems like a lot of 90s. God, I'm trying to think of like Chumbawamba or whatever would like add on to the end of every one of their songs with a little thing.
On that album, for sure. We don't even need to talk about that. I will say, of all the songs on this album, the ones that I think of first are obviously Tender, Coffee and TB, and No Distance Left to Run. Then is Trimm, Trabb, and then is Battle. And then
B.L.U.R.E.M.I.
B.L.U.R.E.M.I. Yeah, that one probably even maybe before No Distance Left to Run. But, and I don't even, I'm not saying like I like those in order or anything. I'm just saying those are the ones that I think of.
Out.
But like Swamp Song and 1992, that crap I don't even think of. Like I don't even remember those. Whereas I do think there's a little bit more to Battle. But it's weird in the way that the album is weird.
It was closer to anything the Gorillaz did. Yeah,
and I at least enjoy the drum sound throughout, and I love when the drums actually go away and then they have that bass part in there that's just like. Mm-hmm. And if you remember when we were reading about the album, the bass player Alex James, he said like sometimes I didn't even show up or whatever. So like in that song there probably was maybe like one line of real bass, you know?
Yeah.
So I could see like Damon sitting down at a computer, like making some of these songs the way he would go on to make the Gorillaz stuff. Yeah. And also, maybe he didn't even have the know-how at this point to do that kind of stuff, but learning from William Orbit.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe
how to like compose a song in a laptop, you know, with Pro Tools or whatever they were using at the time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I could see him learning a lot during the making of this.
Sure.
And then it's also so crazy how different Think Tank feels, you know, because they did this album thing, then they were having all this turmoil, but they toured and made it through the tour. And then Damon released Gorillaz, which kind of made all the guys in the band feel like they were being left out of something. And then they got back together to try to salvage Blur. And Graham was like, I'm not having any of this, and left. And then when you listen to that album, it just sounds so different from anything Blur had done before, but it's also very different from Gorillaz. It's like its own standalone thing.
Was it a new producer on that again?
I think so. I think it was mostly Damon, but like I really enjoy that album and the way it sounds. And there's hints of it here on this, but only very briefly. It's very weird. It's very weird, and I don't want to even try to describe it to you because I want you to just hear it when we do.
Yeah, I wonder what a post Gorillaz Blur. I mean, obviously we've heard their new album, but that's way in the future.
That's after they've already reunited and come back together. Yeah.
I'd be interested.
Yeah. Okay, we're now on to Mellow's song, and this song is a song that they made out of a long thing that they released called Mellow Jam.
Okay.
So it was just called Mellow Jam, and then they took that and made it into this. I don't know if they cut it up or they just took parts of it and like re-recorded it or what. I'm not sure how they did that, but I read that on the Blur discography or the Blur wiki page. And you can actually hear the original song Mellow Jam on the deluxe edition of this that was released in 2012 when I got that Blur 21 box set.
Yeah.
I don't know are you looking at the deluxe edition or just the regular edition?
No, I just got the regular.
Yeah, I just have the regular edition up too. But if you look at the deluxe edition, Mellow Jam is one of the songs on there, and it's what this was made out of. So okay, this is Mellow Song in 3, 2, 1. I will give them credit when they fade out. The beginning of the next song usually starts super quiet and like. Oh yeah, I remember this song. Okay. Pull it away in my machine where I've been.
I like these vocals.
Yeah, because they sound normal.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. That was in the track.
Giving away time to Casio. Sun is
This is probably the closest to something from Think Tank.
Kill this sleep. I'm the man in the moon, walking on sand on my own high noon. Love with the moon, I love you. 'Cause I live my street.
So everything we're hearing here was probably done. I don't know this, but I'm guessing everything here was done by Damon. Like everything we're hearing.
Sure, probably. It's a very simple song.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like my lips are tingling. I wonder if I ate something I'm allergic to.
Oh.
If I die, you'll know why. It'd be sucks if it really suck if allergies got me after dealing with cancer. But there we go.
It's cool.
Yeah, and that could still be a drum beat or something, but you can tell that guitar on the right is Graham. Or yeah.
Is that melodica again?
Yep.
Or whatever.
Which is remember is what he used in Clint Eastwood. Na 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 na, and then
harpsichord.
Which they used on my favorite song of their one of my favorite songs, their Clover Over Dover. My favorite song from Park Life. So this is probably what the Mellow Jam was, and then he wrote that part at the beginning to be like, oh, there's some semblance of a song here.
Yeah.
But the melody for that, what he was singing, was very similar to some of the stuff that's on Think Tank.
Okay.
Think Tank is such a cool album. I didn't mention this earlier, but I was talking about I really like Think Tank a lot.
Okay.
I like it a lot, and I think that you would like it too, but it's just so different from all this.
Yeah.
Which I know doesn't mean anything to you, and it's a very ambiguous thing to say, but it's true.
But it's like this is already so different than
from what we had been hearing,
Life or whatever. And I I'll talk about it at the end, but it's not the direction I'm into. I don't think.
No, I'm counting this as a fade out. It's weird, but
yeah,
it's a fade.
This guitar comes in right at the end as they're fading out.
Yeah, it sounds like it kind of sounds like all the instruments are sick, especially the guitar. It sounds like it's sick the whole time.
And the vocalist.
I gotta learn to make my means.
Yeah, that's a good descriptor.
Yes, well, I'll have to notice that. All right, so yeah, interesting. Starts out with the acoustic guitar, and I liked his melody there, like da 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 da. Like it felt like an old school Blur thing. Like they every now and then they allow themselves to write like a good song, or a catchy part. Not a good, you know what I mean, like a catchy part. And then it kind of like shines through and you're like, oh, interesting. But then they kind of just surround it with all this like muddy, weird stuff.
Yeah.
So I will say when you do listen to this album in a row without pausing like we're doing, like it kind of mashes all together and becomes this blur of a thing. And I don't mind that as much as like straight up just like being disappointed at the songs from from their debut or their solo.
Mm-hmm. Self-titled.
Yes. Oh my God. I said every word other than that. Their self-titled album, which actually, now that we're listening to this so far, I was so surprised with how much I enjoyed their self-titled album. I think I may have to recant my statement that I like this one way more than that one.
Yeah.
But the highs on this album are so much higher than the highs on that album, in my opinion. Like the best songs on this album are, as I've said, 3 of my favorite Blur songs, whereas I don't think any of the songs from the previous album I would consider to be in my top, even 50 songs, maybe 50 Blur songs, maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you don't have much to say about that one.
No, it's more of the stuff that
more
I'm
of
not
this
way into.
Yeah. Now it was quite different though, like you said, and with the acoustic guitar, it started out and you're like, oh, okay, this is interesting. You said I liked the vocals, the way they're being done. So
the vocals are cool, and then it just that was only the first third of it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe even less.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're moving on to track 9, Trailerpark, in 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
Yeah. I'm so frustrated. Sorry. Oh, by the way, this is on Parlophone.
Oh, they're not even on EMI.
No, they were for a while.
Oh, okay.
I can't hear what he's saying.
Yeah, the mixing on this is weird. I love those beeping bells or whatever. I don't know what that is, but
it's an organ type thing on the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it, but I don't like how it's mixed into the song.
Yeah, well, the song's not mixed super well. I mean, on purpose. This is very Gorillaz, though. Oh.
Yeah.
So it's kind of transitioning slowly into being like a more stereotypical sounding song we got real drums in here now with the drum beat. There's a weird guitar in the middle that's just kind of like going. It's like a constant noise or almost like a loop.
Yeah.
These weird screechy noises. It's just like, it's weird. Like, how do you come up with that stuff? That's got to be William Orbit doing some of this.
Oh, for sure.
We've come a long way from the most recent Gorillaz album, huh?
Right, yeah.
I'm still looking for a copy of that somewhere in a store. It's like sold out everywhere.
Oh, a CD.
Yeah,
I've seen the vinyl actually pretty cheap places. I thought about picking it up.
Oh, really? I've only
like
seen
less than $20 kind of a thing. Like
really?
Yeah.
Oh my god! If you see that, ever see a Gorillaz album for less than $20, buy it for me.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out. It seems like they overproduced it. One of those kind of things.
Oh, really? Yeah, not the CD. The CD is still tough to find.
Okay.
And I still don't know what the 4 bonus. This is boring. I still don't know what's on those 4 bonus tracks.
Yeah.
I haven't looked it up.
The
or
like
anything.
live whatever.
Yeah, whatever they said that they were.
Out,
yeah. Yeah.
Fun fact about this song: that they were commissioned to write a song for the South Park album, the Chef Aid soundtrack, which I know that album because Devo was commissioned to write a song for that, and they pulled one of their really old songs and remade it.
Yeah.
That was never released, so that's actually a pretty cool Devo song on that album. But apparently they wrote it for that South Park album, and it was denied.
Yeah, I would have denied it too. I wouldn't have bothered putting it on here either. Sorry.
The only thing about that is I like that organ part.
See,
and I like the sound of it, but
I like the drums, and like if the vocals are going to be annoying, I would rather there be no vocals, which I know is crazy for me to say. So like, I'm happy that the second half of that song had no vocals, because the beginning part, it was kind of just like
you couldn't
like what he was saying was cool, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a country boy. I got no soul. Don't sleep at night. And the world's growing old. Lost my girl to the Rolling Stones. I lost my girl to the Rolling Stones. Like freestyle 45. You know, that's a very Gorillaz thing. All of that. So
yeah.
All right. Surely this 7-minute and 38-second Carmel song is going to be interesting the entire time, right?
Or as they say in England, caramel.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's see.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1. The further we're getting away from coffee and TV, don't you appreciate it more and more? You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, they were still able to do that. They just chose not to, which is fine. You know, they don't ever perform any of this crap live, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's cool sounds throughout all of this, though. I do want to point that out and say, like, there's really interesting soundcraft happening here.
Sure.
And like we said at the beginning of the album, I think definitely part of this is not supposed to be enjoyable to listen to, because it's being it's representing like a breakup and a difficult time and them all having a not getting along.
You know, all these songs like this, they do manage to have lyrics in every single song.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Because some of them, I think of them, are like, that was just an instrumental, right? But no.
So this is cool. Someone's singing as quietly as they can.
Yeah. I could see this album being very important to people that listen to it.
You think? Yeah.
But, you know, we talked about that already, is we're not those kinds of people.
Yeah, it's just not accessible to us, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not accessible at all. And I think that there are a lot of people who, I've experienced these people, you know, in a lot of our videos, like, there are a lot of people who scoff at things that are accessible. You know, they want it to be difficult to approach.
Mm-hmm. They don't want the normies to like their music.
Yeah, which is like I'm the opposite. Well, I don't want people to like the stuff I like either, because I want it to be precious and held dear to me. But at the same time, I want everything to have a chorus and go back to it, and I want it to be accessible, and I want to be able to understand what's happening. And
you love to show something to someone and be like, "Isn't this awesome?"
Yeah, right. Which I would never be able to do that with this, because how could you? You know?
Yeah.
Now that being said, this song's cool so far. Like this is more interesting, I feel. The thing that kills me though is just that they're such good good musicians, and we're not really getting too much of that here. But they also kind of fill the requisite, like you have to have at least 2 or 3 songs from every album in your catalog that you can perform live. And they got 3-4 good ones on here, so
yeah,
you know.
So did they tour after this album?
They did, yeah, I think so, yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, is this Pink Floyd-y, would you say?
I'm sure someone could draw some parallels.
I don't know. I definitely don't understand Pink Floyd. Like, I definitely want to do more. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were like, wait, you've only heard Dark Side of the Moon? That's not a good representation of what Pink Floyd is. And I was like, I'm glad you said that, because I was shocked when I heard Dark Side of the Moon.
What did they say would be a good one to listen to?
They said you need to listen to their next, 3 albums or whatever. They were like, it's just, you need to listen to...
And we said that there is a sequence of 4 albums that are all-time classics.
Yep, that's what you guys said.
Pretty different from each other, and you gotta listen to them all.
For sure. And I did enjoy Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, enough to want to do more. We just had a lot of copyright issues with that and stuff, which is one of the main reasons we haven't done more.
Yeah.
Because I still think about that You and I song every now and then. I think that's what the song was called.
Yep.
This is just like noise rock, like avant-garde noise rock type stuff.
Yeah, I would be a lot more tolerant for this if there wasn't so many songs like this on this album.
I know, right? Like
I like B.L.U.R.E.M.I when they throw a weird thing in the middle of something. I think that would be really cool if this was in the middle of their last album.
Yeah.
But I'm not
But if you just
this is one of the better ones. Like this one, I like this more than a lot of the ones we've heard. But
yes,
this whole album as a whole, I'm not feeling it.
No, right? Because it's a slog.
Yeah.
So now it came back to the beginning with that.
And I know that's the point of the whole album. I get what they're doing. It's just not for me.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be for everybody either.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be accessible. You know?
I mean, even Blur fans that maybe would love this album probably don't listen to it a lot.
That's probably true. Yes, but I could see how someone would listen to this and be like, "Oh, it's like a masterpiece." If you're in the right headspace
for this, I could totally see if you're going through something in your life and it's like you just put this on and listen to this and be like, "This is exactly how I'm feeling right now." I get it.
I'm not even going to count that as a fade out. You know what? I will. It did clearly fade out. So.
What's funny is you're getting 2 fade outs per song.
I know, it's weird.
Ooh, this is cool. A little circusy.
Oh, I should have put the cross on. I've never gotten...
This is exactly something you would hear in the background of a BioShock level.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Yeah, I love stuff like this too. You could make... Ooh, we're off to the races now.
Road trip. What, they fit another one of these, another third thing.
This is cool. Make a song out of this. You know, part of me wonders if the stilted nature of all of this is the fact that the guys weren't showing up at the same time or weren't getting along.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
they just made fragments.
This is their medley. You know.
Do you just want to go into the next song?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I feel like this is going to go into the next song.
Nope.
Well, maybe not.
But that's all right. Here's Trimm Trabb, baby.
You mentioned this one, so. They haven't done a lot of like sampling of people speaking or anything like that either.
Right. Yeah, I did tell you that they usually have a person talking song on every one of Damon Albarn's.
Okay. This is more the Blur I expected.
Mm-hmm.
I got no style. I take my time. All those losers on the piss again. I doze away. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. I got Trimm Trabb out the flesh boy's hand, and I can't go back. Let it flow, let it flow. I sleep in love. I sleep in love.
Are you looking at the lyrics or what?
Yeah, I was just laughing at that vocal effect.
That
Yeah.
yeah.
But I was just thinking about the vocals, or the lyrics of all these. We've lost like the Britishness of this band.
Oh, for sure. 1000%.
And that disappoints me.
Yeah, and I think that they did that on purpose because they got so much criticism, and then when it was gone, people were like, oh, whoops. I guess you should have kept your mouth shut and let them exist.
It blows my mind that one album that they released that everyone loved, and then like it was panned later on.
Yeah.
That never happens to albums.
I know, it's very weird. You're absolutely right. Yeah. That was my favorite album of theirs, The Great Escape.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's and it sucks that like so much of their output was caught up in the public reaction to their stuff.
Well, and I think
the whole Britpop wars and stuff was just stupid.
What I agree, but I don't think that's what caused it. I think this is what caused it. Because people heard this in their last album, they were like, oh, these guys are so artistic. and Great Escape is so formulaic, and it's just like their previous album. And knowing that they had this inside them, you know.
I guess that's true. If you look at that as like they were being juvenile back then, and then this is their real output.
I think that that's very much unfortunately, how people look at it. I think nowadays it's come back around though, and people do appreciate the quaintness of their first 4 albums.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we're gonna still go back and listen to their second album, and if you want to hear their first album too, I mean, we can. But we still have good stuff to listen to, and I do think that all of their albums after this are better than this one.
Yeah. We heard their newest album. It's like it was not this.
No.
So I mean, 99. I mean, this was like 9 Inch Nails was big, right?
Yeah.
The music had really changed, and like industrial stuff was actually kind of big at this time. So I kind of see.
Yeah. But again, I think this. I don't know if this does have a lot to do with that, but I think it also is just like trying to get as far away from where they were as possible.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard for me to understand why an artist would want to make something intentionally hard to listen to, but that's just not how I would approach it. Now, that being said, this song is sonically more interesting than stuff we've been hearing.
I'm not really into this one that much.
No, I know, but at least it's changing. You know, first, it started with acoustic guitar and him going, I got Trimm Trabb, you know?
That's true.
And I can't go back. And these last, 3 songs have all had, programmed drum beats in them, which is fine. I love that stuff. But, it's not Blur, really.
Yeah.
And this is all just this noise stuff. It's just noise stuff. which I don't necessarily say that in a bad way. That there's like a genre called noise rock, but like
it's
but I don't care for that stuff as much.
And this might be very good noise rock, and I just don't know, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see that.
Yeah, this is cool.
Number 9. Ooh. Need a low pass filter on that.
Okay, we'll pause before we get to No Distance Left to Run.
Okay.
So we're coming up to one of my favorite songs of another one of my favorite songs of Blur, and I think one of their best ballad songs. So spoiler alert, this is a slow one. Not like everything we've heard has been fast up to this point, but this is a slow one. This is a real song. This is the title of their documentary when they got back together, called No Distance Left to Run, that was about their breakup.
Okay.
So this is and then they no, actually, you know what? This might have been the documentary they released before they got back together, when it looked like they weren't never going to get back together again. Okay. That might have, I can't remember. I'm so sorry. And I have all my stuff on the shelf over there, but this one is a good documentary. This is the one where I think I was talking to you before about how they would like hook them up to machines when they were sleeping and like get their like brain signals while they were sleeping. All the guys in the band got hooked up to a machine that like would show some electrical patterns in their brain or something as they were sleeping. It's an interesting music video.
Oh, they made a music video out of it?
They made a music video out of it, but then
that's what this music video is that
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I could be getting mixed up with their ballad from the previous album, but I think it's this one.
Well, why did they hook their brains up to the...
It has to do with something, like I'm not quite sure exactly.
Oh, okay.
It just was. I just remember it being a cool music video because, like, the music video is like literally footage of them sleeping, and they had them hooked up to some like EKG machine or something that like just showed brain movement or something. That's and it's just like footage of them like fluttering their eyes and stuff while they're sleeping, but they're like really sleeping, and it's just interesting and different. And you know, the footage is all grainy because they filmed it at night, and then they had to overexpose it and all this stuff. So it's cool looking. It's very what it is, but. I personally like this song a lot. And if you look on this album, tracks 3 and 1 and look, track 12 are the ones with like multiple tens of millions of plays. Yeah. Everything else is just like, ugh. So.
Yeah, these are like the.
Yeah. Which I'm a little surprised B.L.U.R.E.M.I. doesn't have more. It actually has less than like Battle in 1992. So people must like those drony ones.
That's the standout one to me so far. And I think I said during Coffee and TV, I'm like, I don't see this as a single, but like now going through this, it's very obvious which ones could even possibly be singles.
Right, exactly, right? So yeah. Oh, and just wait till we get to Optigan.
Oh boy. All right.
Okay, this is No Distance Left to Run in 3, 2, 1. Not very many songs speak to me on like this is a sad song, but this is a sad song.
Okay.
It's over. You don't need to tell me. Hope you with someone who makes you feel safe in your sleep.
There you go. He mentioned sleep right away.
Mm-hmm.
I won't kill myself trying to stay in your life. I got no distance left to run. When you see me, please turn your back and walk away.
Now imagine if they never got back together and this was their final album. Maybe it would be a little more impactful.
I think it was impactful for that reason for a long time. Yeah.
I would be very sad listening to this if my favorite band had broken up and this is what they put out.
Yep. This is their whatever that Beatles one was. This is their The End.
Yeah.
I got no distance left to run.
After this song's over, we can just go ahead and get Optigan 1 over with. So we'll just keep going.
All right.
Then we can talk about the album as a whole. See how you feel about it.
Yeah, this is another one where it's like I wouldn't see this as a single, but
Yeah.
compared to everything else in the album, like those 3 songs are definitely the singles. And this one's kind of cool. They always seem to have a track where it's like a sleepy time track.
Yes, for sure.
Is the line and settles down, stays around, spends more time with you. I got no distance left to run. Coming home.
The documentary is about the 2009 reunion.
Okay, that's what it was. So it goes through the breakup and then into the reunion. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking, but
Yeah.
and we can just listen through Optigan. I always want to say Optigan 1. Get ready for this amazing track.
All right. Oh, an Optigan optical organ. What? What is this?
I assure you, whatever you're looking at is more interesting than this song.
It's fascinating. It's Mattel, like the toy company, made it in the 70s. It's like an organ that uses discs that have optical recordings of real instruments. So it's like an early sampling or, sampled organ or whatever.
Oh, interesting.
Optical, though. I don't know.
That looks kind of that looks
read
similar.
by a light bulb and a photodiode.
That looks similar to the Fun Machine organ I have. Type in Fun Machine organ.
Yeah.
I have one of those.
And that's an electric one. And this one is like, well, it uses a light bulb and a photodiode. Huh. It says Tom Waits liked to use it too. It
That's
mentions
cool.
Tom Waits in Blur. See, and I liked when Blur would. This is like something you would hear as an interlude on one of the previous albums.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that it's the same thing for 2 minutes and 34 seconds.
Yeah, sure. And there's just like ding, ding.
Well, I mean, there is a guitar and drums and stuff in this, but it's just lo-fied in such a way. Unless that's the recording from the. I don't even know where the actual organ sound in there is, if it even is using it.
I think the main.
It's probably that circusy
that
sounding
warbly.
thing.
Yeah. Huh. Cool.
I'm not even going to count that as a fade out.
Sure.
So we can pause it. Okay, so I wish I would have listened to this a little bit more before we did the recording, so I wouldn't have been as high on it as I was before we went into it.
Well, yeah, you're like, this has 3 of my all-time favorite Blur tracks
which
on
it does. It does.
Yeah. I was like, how is this not your favorite Blur album? And you didn't say it was at the start. You said
yeah. Well, it's because the rest of it is what it was. So
yeah.
So what are your thoughts? I guess we've been doing a good job of talking as we've been going because the songs have been a little bit more boring. So I don't think we have to talk too long now. But
yeah, I just think this album isn't for me. I don't want to rag on it too bad because I can see what people like in this.
Yeah,
and I could see the meaningfulness in it. And if you like stuff like Nine Inch Nails and industrial music and you like Blur, it's like this is kind of probably the most awesome album of all time.
Maybe, yeah.
But I don't like any sort of music like that, really.
Yeah.
Like that kind of trend in the 90s of like adding that kind of industrial sound to stuff is not for me. So
yeah, it
lost its blurness.
Yeah, it did.
Which I'm not the best judge of what that is because I've only ever heard like half their albums, but like I like the Britpop, you know?
Yeah, which they didn't really do that as much on the previous album at all.
Yeah.
But there were a few moments where they're like, okay, you could see how it was the same band just trying to be a little bit mature and darker. And then this is like whole other realm of like, it's basically just like noise, you know, and sound effects and stuff for... Which I do feel like you could. The thing that's interesting to me about this is you can really hear Graham Coxon doing this kind of stuff in small increments across their whole discography, and then it got more present during the previous album, during the self-titled.
Yeah,
and then it's like they were like, okay, well, like imagine if they were all recording together and like Damon and David and Alex were like had to wrangle in Graham, right? You know? And then they went in to record this album and Damon broke up with his girlfriend and he just like turned away from the circle for a little while. And Graham Coxon was like, come with me.
Yeah.
And just, which is so funny because
you've
like,
got a producer that apparently loves it and played into it, you know?
And I think it's so weird too, because like Graham's solo music is not like this.
Really?
It's just like acoustic indie, like alternative rock music that's pretty standard. Like, and now maybe I haven't heard all of it or anything like that. And maybe he does have some more like avant-garde side project or albums or something. But for the most part, it's all pretty, like, I don't enjoy his solo music very much either. I think I have 3 of his albums. And he released an album last year with a lady that I was really excited for because I was like, ooh, I like his guitar playing. I like the way he writes some stuff. And then he had a lady doing vocals with him. So I thought, oh, maybe this will be an interesting side project. And it was just so... I didn't feel it. I couldn't get into it. No matter, and I tried a couple times and I listened through the album, not all at one time, but I listened like through the whole thing and I was just like, man, this kind of feels samey through the whole thing. And it just wasn't for me. And so I was kind of disappointed with that. And then his other solo albums that I have are a little bit more akin to what I would like. It sounds more like the Blur self-titled album than this. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I guess if you're someone like me and you heard this album, I guess you just moved on to the Gorillaz after this, right?
Yeah. Well, and it was interesting for me
because that's like more fun again.
Right. And it was interesting for me having heard the Gorillaz first, then checking out their greatest hits and hearing the 3 songs from this. Because on their greatest hits is No Distance Left to Run, I believe is the last song on there. And then Tender is and Coffee and TV are like 3 of the first tracks. Yeah. So it's like,
I mean, those 3 fit in pretty well with their whole oeuvre.
Yeah, you can see it. You can definitely see it. And you haven't heard Modern Life is Rubbish yet, actually. But Modern Life is Rubbish is, I feel, actually closer to this album and self-titled than it is maybe to... It's such a good combination of the Britpop stuff we were hearing, because it's definitely that. But there are more serious things on it, I feel, that harken back more towards this, or like No Distance Left to Run from here, or even like a Tender, maybe a little bit more. Yeah. And the way it's mixed and everything, it's really good. I like that album a lot, but it's not as much as their next 2, which are more fun.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear that because it's almost like pre-Britpop, right?
Yes, yeah, and their first album
like,
is like that too. It's very interesting. Their first album is not my favorite at all, and it's kind of a production thing, and also they just, I don't know, it's weird. Maybe it would be your favorite one, and it's possible. Like, that's possible, but I don't know. And I think I told you before, Damon has only said he's ever made 2 albums that he absolutely regrets making. One of those is Blur's first album. So
what's the other one?
I'm trying to remember.
Was it another Blur album?
No, I don't think it was a Blur one. I think it was... Oh, it might have been Think Tank. It might have been that one, but that would probably be extraneous circumstances. Okay, so now that we're at the end of the video, I'll let you decide. Do you want to go back and listen to Modern Life is Rubbish next, or do you want to go forward and listen to Think Tank?
I gotta say, I'm not too excited for like anything that comes after this, because I've heard their newest album, which is 20 years later, right? And I've heard now this one and the last one. It's like that transition between there. Okay, I could see them getting more towards what I like, but I don't know that it's ever going to get back to the heights that I was like loving, you know. So I think I probably would like to hear their first and second album I'm still interested in those, and I'll listen to the other newer ones, but like I don't have high expectations.
Well, I do think we need to react to. I do think we should do a reaction to Think Tank.
Sure.
Like what I was thinking before we did this was we would still do reactions to Modern Life is Rubbish and Think Tank.
Yeah, but I'm okay moving outward from the middle like we are still.
Yeah, so like that. So maybe if you'd rather we go back and listen to one that you know you'll like.
Yeah,
and then we could go.
It might get me back into Blur again, you know?
Right? And then because honestly, like I think I said, like Think Tank is I think my third favorite Blur album. So like it goes great. It goes Great Escape, Park Life, Think Tank, then Modern Life is Rubbish, then probably. Then after that, it'd be a question. We'd have to have a conversation. But so I really love Think Tank a lot. And I love the way it's mixed. I love it. But again, I've said multiple times, it's so different from anything we've heard. And maybe you'll listen to it and be like, what are you talking about? But I really think that that's what you'll feel too. But it's good. It's different in a really good, refreshing way.
Okay.
But if you want to do Modern Life is Rubbish, then let's do that one.
Yeah.
So we'll do that one next whenever we get around to it. And then at that point, you can decide, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. I want to hear what came right before it. Yeah. Or let's zoom into the future and hear the one album without the weird ass influence of Graham Coxon on it.
Yeah, you know? I am interested in that. So
yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we'll do. We'll do Modern Life is Rubbish next. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This video is outrageously long, so we're not going to spend more time talking. I think we got a lot of our thoughts out during the album, the reaction there. Cody is going to go and watch the music video for Coffee and TV. And I think if you're okay, Cody, and you're still okay doing another 10-minute video, I think we should still react to Tender with Jimmy Fallon.
Okay, sure.
But so we'll do that. So we'll release that. I might release that on the same day. We'll see. But thank you, everybody, for watching. If you've stuck around this long, you're a real trooper. Check out all the links of everything in the description to find all that that fun stuff and all that info and everything. And we'll see you next time. Oh, my baby. Oh, why? Oh, my. Oh, you're back.
Yep. I don't think that song will get stuck in my head
so much.
But the song that still gets stuck in my head is Tracy Jacks.
Tracy Jacks! Because you're like, how could anyone be this British?
I still think of that one, and I only listen to that album like 2 or 3 times.
You know what still gets stuck into my head sometimes?
What?
Hold on, it's not in my head right now, and I got to think about. Oh wait, temporary secretary. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And so we can talk about that kind of stuff as much as we want, but for me personally, I just am not like I focus on everything other than the lyrics first. And then, we can get into the lyrics if we want to. And actually, I was talking to Chris Parker in the last video we recorded, Cody, but I would love us to do a series of videos where we each bring our favorite lyrics or favorite artists that we really like the lyrics of. So we could just have like a 3 or 4 video part series where we're talking about lyrics that we love or artists whose lyrics that we do enjoy and the reasons for that, Because
the most challenging video Patrick will ever have to make.
Well, no, I look forward to that a lot because
you got good lyrics.
I could talk about the few bands and artists whose lyrics that I really do love, and I think it would be fun to talk about why that is. Because for me personally, like I really get frustrated that I feel the thing that people try to do when they're experiencing something, and I found this to be with everybody in like any all walks of life, is that people just try so hard to relate to things. And I totally understand why that is. But for me, that is not my goal. Like, I do not try to relate to things as much. I mean, there are certain things I suppose that I could, but like, I have not lived an exciting life. I have not had so many experiences. Like, if I was relating to a song, it would just be a boring song because my life is so boring. And so
like if I hear a song about death or like a breakup song, I don't think about deaths in my life or a breakup in my life.
Right. Right. I wouldn't either at all. And so for me, it would be more like the cleverness of it, or like, but I'm the type of person that watches a movie and I love the cinematography, right? You know, I love the camera angles. I love the lighting. I love things like that. And yes, it can be really cool to be moved by a story, but it's not because I am Harry Potter. You know, it's not because I see myself as Frodo or as Sam in The Lord of the Rings. It's just a good story that I've enjoyed being told. And when I'm playing a video game, like, I don't like it when a video game starts off and you create your character and that's the character you are. Like, I really don't like that role playing aspect of it. I like games like Red Dead and The Witcher where you like, I even sometimes have trouble being like, I'm playing The Witcher, I'm Geralt, because I'm not Geralt.
Yeah.
Geralt's
You're being
Geralt.
told a story about
this. You're being told the story.
It's interactive.
You are just basically helping the person along. And if you do have to make choices like like in The Witcher or in some of the Assassin's Creed games, I don't make the choice that I would make. I try to make the choice that I feel the character would make. And so to me, that's all related to song lyrics, because I think so many people try so hard to relate to things. And what they can do when they relate to something is they have this like deep connection to it. And for me personally, that's just not what I'm there for. That's not the connection I'm trying to make.
Yeah, me neither.
But when it does happen, that's when that's when something is special, you know? And we talk here on the channel a lot about this, what's the phrase that I always use? The exception to the rule, right? It's the exception to the rule that stands out as being like the really special thing. Like, my favorite country band is that for a reason. Like, I don't like country music, but my favorite country band I really love because they're the exception to the rule. Yeah. You know? And so, but anyway, we don't know if we're just talking in general. Sorry. We just had a long conversation about the channel and like all this other stuff. So we're still in that mode.
You know, I think about my favorite band, Devo, and their lyrics, there's never anything that's like first person, you know, there's never like anything about like your life or whatever. It's all like social commentary and kind of nonsense. Right. And like, I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I like fun lyrics that are like, oh, it's funny that he said that. Or like, I love when you can get like a bit of humor thrown into lyrics and it makes you laugh while you're listening to a song. That's great.
See, for me, that's
Blur does that though.
They do, yes. But for me, like, I never want to like laugh while I'm listening to music. No, it doesn't take me out of it. And there are certainly things that I enjoy. Like, we talk about in our metal videos, we've talked about how I love fun metal, but fun metal doesn't have to be funny metal. Yeah, you know. And I don't enjoy comedy music or comedy stuff like that. I really don't even enjoy comedy movies or anything like that. Comedy's not my thing. And I know that's not what you were talking about, but there is a way to be clever about something. And I do like even when I'm listening to metal or something, like if they do like reference something in a guitar riff or like they do some crazy effect and I'm thinking about how it would have been done. And I'm just like, oh yeah, that was really clever. That was really cool. I wonder if people
like funny ways you can play a guitar or whatever.
For sure. Yeah. And that kind of stuff is really cool and special. And so I guess that would be a way that I could relate to something on a non-personal level. Yeah. That's true. That's very true. But